Welcome back, everyone. This is Anger, Sadness, and Envy. I'm Narcogen, the webmaster of Bungie fan site rampancy.net, and I'm here with Blackstar
of Blackstar Productions. How's everybody doing?
Hi, I'm Cody Miller.
Okay, so here's the map. So I guess anything other than Earth and the Moon and the Crucible is locked in the alpha, right? You can't go anywhere else.
Yes, and you can really only go to the Moon for PvP.
Right. It's the Crucible. So there's one. How many control maps were there in the alpha? Is it one or two?
What do you mean control maps?
The control game type.
There were two.
So there's one on Earth and one on the Moon, right?
Yes. So yeah, explore mode is basically you kind of just go down and you can kind of just do whatever, and this is where you can run into other people. I didn't seem to run into too many people. Maybe it was just because when I was playing, but yeah, you basically get like missions and things to do. They earn EXP and Vanguard points and all that fun stuff. So there's no real direction to it. It's just sort of like a free roaming mode.
So this is like grinding for points.
Well,
yeah,
it could be if you want it to be. I guess what I want to know is that if you don't accept any missions, does that change the number of enemies that spawn in the zone? Does like accepting a mission to assassinate something spawn the target, or would the target be there to shoot at even if you didn't accept the mission, so you just wouldn't get the reward?
I don't think so. Accepting the mission, it spawns things and changes the world.
But I kind of like the idea of being able to explore the areas in kind of a low-impact atmosphere. I mean, I think it would be cool if I could have played Halo and gone in and explored a space before you fought it and realized, oh, that's a dead end I just walked into and got myself killed.
Hey, look, it's dialogue over combat. Where have we seen that before?
And it's and it's like there is stuff hidden. Like there are loot chests hidden, and there are the dead ghosts that are hidden. So there is some stuff to find, but the alpha...
Is there some stuff that's necessary, though? Are there things that were actually critical or vital for the progression of either the story or missions that you have to get?
No, it doesn't seem to be. So
they're all bonuses, they're all extras.
Yeah, so maybe at Narcogen you may kind of like the story mode, or the explore mode.
Maybe. So what's happening here? This is not a public event, and it's not... Is it part of the mission you've accepted, or...?
No, it's just, guys will just come in and populate the area.
Okay, so your target is actually... Because I noticed basically your mission was to kill a Vandal. It says Vandal target 0 of 1. And there were some Vandals in that group that just down, but not the one you're supposed to kill. So
not the Vandal, no.
Yeah, so it's not kill any Vandal, it's a specific one. He's special.
So that's a fusion rifle, and that has the solar damage type, which is why everybody like kind of disintegrates.
And you've got these little rocket boosts, so you can actually launch yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is the Titan.
This is the Titan I'm playing as now, yeah. And the Titan has a jetpack kind of.
Kind of like Boba Fett.
It kind of seems like the Reach, thing. It doesn't have a huge amount of height or speed, but it's just for getting up to something that's a little too high. And the Warlock has kind of like a power glide.
And here's your heavy weapon here that you're about to use.
Oh yeah, what's that one?
That's the rocket launcher.
And these are the death Roombas.
So I think there's two types of heavy weapons I found in the alpha. You get like a heavy machine gun, and then you can get the rocket launcher. Both are fun.
One has a high cyclic rate, and the other one has high explosives. Also seeing a lot of light sticks floating around everywhere.
Yeah, you have to be able to
to me,
see,
as I'm watching this thing, I get the definite impression that it's almost like you're in a gerbil maze where you're going from tube to tube until you get to the other big room that's populated by certain characters. And is
not necessarily. That's just like basically there's two halves to this big map. One of the halves is more like that, but the other half is very open. And they're all connected. It's really great. There's no loading ever.
Yeah, so you're going from zone to zone. I counted, I think, it looks like there's almost like a dozen areas as part of Old Russia. Forgotten Shore, Skywatch, Moth Yards, King's Watch, Devil's Lair, Rocket Yard, The Divide, which is, I thought it was interesting because that's the name it's supposed to use as a location in Myth.
Now I noticed they didn't grenade dodge there. They actually just sat there. Do you notice that there are characters that don't actually try to avoid your grenades when you toss them? Or is that just a level dynamic? or if you went high enough, they would.
I have no
So that's
idea.
something I'd be curious about, because as you went higher in Halo or went to different levels of Halo, characters responded differently to your attacks, and some of them, they wouldn't get out of the way of grenades, and other ones would dive completely out of the way and therefore negated their effect.
I did see one guy do that in one of these videos. I don't know if it's this one or one of the... Or maybe
Yeah, so I was just curious whether it was a level thing.
And it's actually pretty surprising how much a sight really can affect your ability to use a weapon. Because for the weapons, you can like switch the sights and all of that, and some of them do different things like affect the range and stability. But even just the physical, visual mechanism of it can be helpful or hurtful.
Okay, so there's your target there. He's got the red indicator on, right? And here's where something else kind of okay. So here comes the text spam, right? You level up. You complete the mission.
Mission complete. Good fight. Yeah.
And then you get an upgrade. And all of this text and stuff is flashing on the screen, and you're still in combat. I mean, isn't it distracting?
Yeah, it's annoying.
No, you don't notice it when you're really just getting into it.
I notice it. I'm looking at the thing. It's like getting Facebook posts every 5 seconds.
Is there some kind of a log where you can go back and see that stuff? Because I'd be thinking if I didn't notice those things, I might want to see afterwards what had happened.
Or better yet, can you turn them off? Can you say, hey, no on-screen notifications?
I don't know, but basically when you go to your character screen, there are little pluses next to the upgrades that you can activate or choose from. So you kind of know that way.
I don't care if they're there or not. I just don't want to see them when I'm shooting things.
Okay, so you've just moved into a new zone. It says, they call this one the Divide, and there's a dead tank, and there's a dropship cruising around.
Those tanks and other ones, too. Everything seems very rusty.
Right, so this is the big open area. It looks like there's a fair amount of enemies in here.
Oh, a little ghost problem. I mean, strike problem. Sparrow problem.
And did you step on your own grenade there? Is that what happened?
Yes, I did.
You flash blinded yourself. What's up with that?
Yeah, the Titan grenades are cool. They're like flashbang grenades that will stun the enemies, and they'll.
No, he retreated there. Was that an accident, or did he really just want to get away from you there?
Who? I think they run away. Like they're pretty good about self-preservation.
Okay. Now there's a green beacon you avoided there. Why was that? There's a green beacon on the right, the ones that you normally get messages from.
Yeah, I could have gone and taken that, but I wanted to go and show off some of the other areas.
Okay, and there are waypoints that are automatically generated, or are those based on what you need to do or want to do in this particular level that they give you?
If you don't have a mission, they're sort of generated on, hey, here's where all the beacons are at.
Okay. So there's just in general, but they're not in any particular sequence? They're just proximity?
Yeah.
Now, I noticed looking at the radar, the motion detector, top left, that they've moved the damage indicators in there so that where you're being fired at shows as red.
No.
No, it looks like it.
those aren't damage indicators. Those indicate where the enemies are.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean the radar itself. There were several locations during the last encounter that it would seem to be completely turned off.
Yeah, when you go down sights, it goes away.
Okay, all right. So it's only available at particular points when you're not looking at something.
The Fallen also seem to have a weapon that kind of looks like a blue needler. Is that what it is? These little energy projectile things. That, like, they're slow enough to dodge.
Well, they kind of home in on you, so they will follow you. So take note the time of day. It's like afternoon. So through the course of this video, it's going to turn into sunset.
Now, I honestly thought you were going to die there, because I know there were people who claimed that Bungie said, that if you can see it, you can go there, and then interpreted that to mean no invisible walls and no kill zones. And then, of course, people immediately went out and found some.
Yeah.
Did you run into some? So you found some invisible walls then?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few.
Oh, okay. Then, well, there goes that plan.
So you have seen that area before on the story mission.
Now, are there any big orbiting guns that you can aim and fire? Because I heard a rumor.
Not in the alpha.
So how long is the cooldown on that supercharge at this point?
Again, it depends on your stats, and then also on how many people you're killing.
Guardians, I need eyes here. Your ghosts can give you the details.
Okay, and there was another bit of audio. It really seems like a lot of the audio cues for the Explorer missions are very placeholder.
They're kind of generic. Yeah.
They're very generic. They're just like, well, I want you to do some stuff, and I'll send the details to your ghost.
Yeah, see, this is why it's kind of you're just doing these missions and you don't really get a lot of sense that they're part of the world.
Well, here's my question. Why is it necessary to even have the voice dialogue? Yeah, he didn't clear that corner. Yeah, why is there even any dialogue there at all? If they're going to send you mission data or information, why don't they just send it? Why do you have to go to a beacon and hear a voice that they're going to be sending you something?
Oh, I don't know.
It seems superfluous
Well,
to me.
I think they must have started with something that was like something like you would see a random quest giver in an MMO, right? So you would just be walking down the road and you would see somebody and you would talk to them. But of course, the way they
right,
built
but if you're
this
going to get
world,
an email,
the way they built this world, it wouldn't make sense. The first thing you would say is, "My God, man, what are you doing out here? Come in, let's go back where it's safe." So if it's just a mechanical beacon where somebody talks to you over a radio, then it's like, oh, all right, fine. And then
right. Well, I'm just wondering if there's some kind of security issue where they send them these beacons so that the information can't be intercepted or retrieved by something they don't want.
I don't think you're going to find it. Yeah, I don't think you're going to find an in-world reason for why those things exist because they're there to give quests. Why don't the Fallen smash the thing to bits? You know, I mean,
right.
Because some of the missions are so generic that, like, literally all that happens when you finish them is Peter Dinklage says, "Good job," and then that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. Or you fail it and he says next time.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen too. I think in one of the Warsat defense mission, I've seen people fail that.
Better luck next time.
He just says, "Yeah, like better luck next time." But I also suppose that means that if the audio is generic, it means that they can probably, during the lifetime of the game, they can change some of those mission parameters without having to go back and record more audio.
Yeah, now here we got two icons. One said supercharged and another one area scouted 0%. You seem to be driving around a lot. Now, the area scouted is now going up, so is that just registering what you're looking at?
No, it's like basically like capturing a territory in multiplayer. You just have to stand in an area and then you scout. You don't actually have to look at stuff.
Okay, so it's like an Assassin's Creed thing. You just go up to the tower and it gives
it's
you...
not as cool. I think if Bungie wanted to improve it, that they could make the scouting missions like the Explore missions in Marathon, where you actually have to like look at certain polygons.
Had to cover the ground. Yeah, see, that's what I thought you had to do, which is why you were running around on the bike here.
If you have to look at every polygon, I think you're going to be there a while.
Not every polygon. Just the polygons marked must be explored.
Now, the supercharged indicator, what is that in reference to? Is that your powers with weapons and grenades?
No, that's your ability to use a super.
That's the magic gun thing, right?
Which I always forget to use.
What is the glow around that character that when you shot a minute ago? What did that mean?
That's his shield. He's got a shield.
Okay.
I saw some of them were cloaked before, too.
There are some cloaked guys. But yeah, shields are they feel very, what's the word? Ephemeral.
Now, the level that you're actually playing at now, what would you describe that as? Beginning, middle, intermediate, high, advanced?
On Explore, it seems to take and put out guys that are, like, around your level.
Okay.
So
this would be an easy, or...
Well, these guys are all 4. What's your level here?
Yeah,
6?
Explore is not very challenging. You do run across some guys in Explore that are higher than you, that are lower than you. I think it sort of tailors them, because there's no difficulty selector for Explore, so I think it's just...
Well, see, that's just it. I was wondering how they were rating it. But, So if you were to come back and you were like a super high level, you would be running against more difficult characters?
Yes, that at least seems to be the case.
Okay, so they scale up as you scale up.
Yeah, I think it's the way some of the newer RPGs work out as well, in that instead of having areas that are like, this is a level 20 area, and this over here is a level 5 area, everything steps up within certain ranges.
Well, but the story missions and strikes are like that. Like, it'll give you a recommended level for those.
So they have a minimum where it says you should be at least this level to do this.
Yeah, like the strike in the alpha is a level 6 strike, and the story is a level 3 story.
Okay. So they expect you to get from level, at least cover a couple levels doing explore before they give you those. I thought they just start you right off in the story.
Well, you start at level 3 in the alpha, so you go right into the level 3 story mission.
That's interesting. What is it? Yeah, what is it they're hiding? What is it they're hiding that in the final? Okay, and this was interesting. You found a place to hide inside the smokestack.
That was accidental.
Were you taking damage in there, or was that blocking the damage?
No, I was being protected.
I don't think he was in there long enough to notice. Now, do you have any sniper weapons? I noticed that all the ones that you have seem to be either medium range, heavy, or close.
Yeah, I have some sniper weapons. Yeah, you'll see that in the strike. I used a sniper.
Okay.
Now the weapon situation is totally different now, right? Because you don't, players don't drop. You're not picking up any dropped weapons.
You're picking up ammo.
Yeah, you pick up ammo, and you very much have to use the weapons that you have.
Okay, open bounty in your neck of the woods. Make them regret it, guys.
Does it feel strange to be fighting against enemies? Like your familiarity with weapons in Halo comes a lot that you see them used against you, and then you pick them up and you use them. But here,
right,
you're never going to use a weapon you pick up from an enemy because they don't drop.
Well, I mean, they drop weapons, but they're like loot drops, basically.
Okay.
So no, it's not like Halo.
Yeah, so it's not like you kill an enemy, take his gun, and then use that gun to kill the next guy because your weapon's empty.
Because you're very much invested in your guns, because if you have an uncommon or rarer gun, then they can learn skills and the guns can level up. So.
Well, see, that was my question, because they were talking about highly specializing individual weapons.
Yes.
If you were to lose them and somebody were to take them, then what? That just means that people are
they can't.
upping with your gear. Yeah. Well, it's not that they can't, it's that they decided not to do it that way, which is probably a good thing.
And it's also, because how in Halo you'd always be switching weapons and picking up what you could pick up. And there was a dead ghost in there that I didn't get. I don't know why.
Oh no.
So what did they give you? They give you glimmer or loot or what? Engrams?
Well, see, on the side you could see I got standing with the faction, I got EXP, I got money, and I picked up some spin metal leaves, which are just resource that you can use for various things.
Okay. Now, is it it's not really crafting, right? I mean, you don't make your own weapons, but so what, the vendors require materials in order to make stuff, or
that's not really fleshed out in the alpha. That's going to be explored more in the beta.
Okay. Did this really feel to you like an alpha? Because I know they're saying, this is not a marketing alpha, but I'm also thinking, public release is September 9, which probably means going Gold Master somewhere in, first half of August, end of July. The public beta is in July. This is already middle of June. You'd have to figure it. They got to be so close to content complete that it's not even funny. And this whole thing seems very polished. I mean, I've seen very little in the way of bugs or glitches. I think I saw one.
Yeah, have you run into anything technical that's been that game ruining or anything?
No, just a strange bug where, if you kill a guy, the gravity shuts off and he starts floating.
Yes,
but that's it.
I did see that. I saw a couple of videos of that.
I thought that was on purpose.
No.
I thought that somehow the weapon was effective to the point where when he died, he did start floating through the air.
You know what?
I thought that was intentional.
I wonder if there's any Halo code left in there, because that looks a lot like the Super Grunt bug, where you'd have these swimming characters falling forever without moving.
Right, who just kind of flow around everywhere, yeah.
So as far as the weapons go, you don't really have to do this so much in the alpha because of the level cap, but I have a feeling that in the final game, you're going to have a large arsenal that you're going to have to swap in and out for particular missions or particular parts of missions, and you're just gonna have to manage them that way.
You're gonna have to take the ammo penalty or use those power-ups you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean that's just the sense that I get.
Yeah, and I noticed you haven't been using any magic or power-ups or any of the other special features or anything like that.
I know. I always forget to use my super.
I don't know. That looked pretty cool, because the people that I see that had an easier job of handling the story and the strike mission were saving that up and using it on the end bosses, and the people who didn't do that took a lot longer to finish those.
Yeah, we could talk about that when the strike comes, but there's definitely the potential for long, tedious play.
Too much bullet spongery.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do to modify your weapons other than leveling up to make them more powerful or effective to avoid that?
What happens is when you get a weapon, it's got a bunch of skills that you can learn off of it. So it's not like...
Right, but each one has a maximum, I assume. There's a point where you're never going to get anything more out of this particular weapon.
Yes, so I don't know if they're going to have a system where you can actually, like, tell it what skills you want to use via crafting or anything like that, but I'm not sure.
Okay, now do various enemy races or enemy types have different vulnerabilities to different kinds of damage? You said different kinds of...
That is a good question, and I want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
But you didn't notice that was happening. I mean, there's no on-screen notice. There's nothing that flashes on the screen like weak, like you would see to Diablo. Like in Diablo, you would see when you hit an enemy with a certain kind of damage that they're weak to fire or ice or something.
I did notice that the kinetic weapons don't really seem to be that effective against shields. That's the only thing I've noticed.
So energy for shields, kinetic weapons, or bullets for flesh.
Like the solar fusion gun just like rips through shields. So maybe solar is more effective on shields. But if you're just shooting it with a gun, it's not so effective.
Yeah, Mass Effect worked the same way because they also had, I think, kinetic ammunition that worked well on armor.
Yeah, so I have no doubt that they're going to play into that come the full game. So see, now it's magic hour. The sun is setting.
What is that? What's the green thing? What is that?
I don't know. It's some.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't.
You're the one who played it.
It doesn't look like a part of the. I mean, it looks like most of the architecture.
Oh, are you
here
talking
is
about
human.
the? Are you talking about the 6 at the bottom?
No. The green, the big thing in the background there with that's glowing green. It kind of looks like not.
Looks like a gun.
Oh,
yeah.
That's like a. Yeah. I don't know. It's like a spaceship or something because inside there's a bunch of really high level hive.
Ah, okay.
Looks like a crashed spaceship of some kind.
That's whatever came from the moon, then I guess. Because now you're fighting Hive. You've been fighting Fallen, and now you're fighting Hive. So these guys are? See, those are Fallen over there to your left, and then there's Hive over to your right. Are you saying they're fighting each other now? Because they seem to be ignoring each other and fighting you.
Yeah, like if you're undetected, they'll just be fighting each other.
Oh, okay. All right. There I just can see. Yeah, you're right. The Fallen there are firing on those Hive to the right. Okay. It's too bad you can't just sit back and watch, because I do kind of like that in Halo, watching Flood and Covenant go at it.
Oh, he probably could. He just decided not to. Well, see, that's another, Bungie theme that they have, 3 particular battle groups as opposed to 2.
So yeah, the Titan special melee attack, you know how the Hunter had a throwing knife?
Yeah.
The Titans is, when it charges, you get like a really powerful burst. So the melee just does more damage right off the bat.
Okay.
Now, does every particular character have their own special abilities, or can you acquire them, or mix and match, or
other than the supers and the melee difference, there doesn't seem to be any functional difference between them, except for the double jump.
So some characters can use it, some can't.
Well, they all have them, but they work slightly differently.
Right.
And they're all race defined, or they group defined,
class
or
defined.
Class defined.
And the Hunter really is sweet. Like, throwing knife really is awesome.
Okay, teleporting enemies. Now this is what happens right when you've made
Halo
you've
4.
made your bullets
Sorry.
you've made your bullet sponge as strong as you can make it without pissing people off, and you've made your AI as smart as it can be, and now you just have to say, well,
did
I
you
will
see
just
that little maneuver there? That little duck to the side?
I will just
That's such a Halo
jump
thing.
out of the way, and you'll be left shooting at nothing.
Ooh.
I hate teleporting enemies.
You missed with a rocket launcher. How could you miss?
There, I got it.
Didn't miss that one.
There you go.
I was kind of disappointed that, basically, I think Halo in the first sequence of Halo games, I think the only teleporting enemies you see at all are Prophet of Truth teleports around in Halo 2. Halo 1 has none. Halo 3, I think, has none. Did Reach
Halo 4 has
Reach have any? I don't remember. ODST has none.
Reach did not have any
Right.
teleporting enemies.
Right. So I'm kind of sad to see at this stage that both Bungie's games and Bungie's old franchise have now decided that the wave of the future is teleporting enemies. I'm
It's not so bad,
No?
actually, dude.
really. I don't know.
It's not like Diablo where if they teleport they gain health.
Well, yeah, not under level 8. They will though.